So this is like my second attempt at making this week's video. I was at first going to make this an Inktober video, but then I remembered that I don't know why I forgot about this. Huevember starts on November the 1st, or also I think you can do Huevember in December, but I'm just not going to do that. So I just decided to scrap everything I did for the Inktober video, and I decided instead to make this video a Huevember video. Hopefully I didn't make a big mistake. I am going to keep the footage for the Inktober video just in case this doesn't happen, but it probably will, but at the same time, you know, just in case. My plan for this video is to do a Huevember drawing traditionally, or digitally, or both. I guess without further ado, let's just get into the digital art portion or the traditional art portion, whatever portion comes next. So I just went on a color generator, and this is the color that popped up. On camera, this color kind of looks like a purplish blue, but on screen, it looks more of like a lavender purple to me. So I'm going to just be using purple as my color for today's Huevember drawing. I decided to pick this color before I started sketching because I kind of don't know what to draw, so I mean, hopefully this color will help. As you guys can see right now, I decided to go with the digital art route because I haven't done a digital art drawing in a while. I'm not going to get good at digital art if I don't do it, so I might as well do it now. So you guys know in the last clip where I said, hopefully now that I know what the color is going to be, I will like spark some ideas and have an idea to draw for this video. Pretty much knowing what color I was going to use, which is purple, that didn't really help at all. I really didn't know what to do. Pretty much what I just did with the thumbnails is I just thought of random things to draw, and I ended up coming up with this girl that you guys see me drawing right now. I think at the beginning of the clip you guys saw me fitting the sketch in the Procreate square. That's what I do a lot of times because it saves time, and usually I feel like my drawings turn out better when I just line art in Procreate instead of just drawing the whole thing from scratch. I mean, I've already drawn the sketch on paper, so I might as well, if I can, like import it into my Procreate canvas, I might as well just put it in there because why redraw it again when you've already done it already, especially when you're not good at digital art. So that was my like thumbnail process of this drawing. And I don't know, I really don't know what to talk about, and I have like 8 minutes of footage or so to talk, and I have no idea where to even start. I guess I will mention, and I'm not really sure if you guys have seen any of the problems I had so far in the video, but I'm just gonna point them out anyway right now. Some of the problems I had while making this piece, which I guess they weren't really big problems, they're just mistakes that I did because, you know, I'm still a noob at digital art and I hardly ever do it, so pretty much some things that I learn I forget and then I don't remember, or sometimes I just don't notice. Before I point out the other mistakes that are like actually sort of mistakes to me, I'm going to point out this. I just don't know how to make my digital art look like my traditional art, and I feel like I don't know, and maybe a lot of people struggle with this, I don't really know, but I don't know how to make my digital art similar to my traditional art, and it's not like my digital art looks like different in like a good way to me. In my opinion, I feel like my digital art is like a downgrade from my traditional art. I just don't know how to like color my characters and stuff in digital art and just make them have this like certain look to it. I feel like when I do traditional art, it's like more three-dimensional, and I feel like it has like more texture, and it just looks, I don't know, it just has this certain look that just looks better to me. But when I do digital art, it just looks flat, and it just doesn't have that like 3-dimension, I guess, even though a lot of times my drawings do look 2D. I don't know, it's just traditional art has this certain look and that I cannot accomplish in digital art yet. It'll just get better by practice, and eventually I'll just find my own digital art style that I'll actually like with digital art, but for now, it's just still in this awkward, weird phase where I'm just like, well, the art doesn't look very bad per se, it just more of it just doesn't look like how my traditional art looks, and I feel like my traditional art is just 10 times better than my digital art. So it kind of feels like my digital art is more of a downgrade than a upgrade. I guess considering that I'm just not the best at digital art, in my opinion, I don't think this piece turned out too bad. I mean, like, my biggest complaint with this drawing is just how flat it looks, and I guess I could have attempted to do shading, but I don't know, every time I try to do shading with digital art, it just looks, I don't know, it just looks kind of weird, and then I'm just like, that just, no. There is one idea that I did have after I created this piece, and I feel like maybe I should try to do digital art techniques within my traditional art, so that way if I know how to do it within my traditional art, then it will hopefully transfer to my digital art. So I'm going to try to practice on that. If I am going to have a career where I'm going to be working with computers and doing digital art and stuff, I need to know how to actually do digital art. Even though I guess I could just learn in college, but you know, I don't know. I just want to get a head start, you know, make things a little easier on myself since college is going to be hard anyway. So I honestly don't even know how I'm going to make videos during that time, but I'll find a way. I'll find a way. Now let's move on to some of my other mistakes that I consider more of mistakes, because even though that because that digital art and traditional art thing isn't truly a mistake, it's just something that I need to learn. So it's not really a mistake. It's just I don't really like how it looks because there's yeah. Anyway, so one of the mistakes that I made while making this drawing is I left the sketch layer on during some parts where I was coloring the girl. The reason why that's a mistake is because if you leave, at least this is what happens in Procreate, at least for me. If you leave the sketch layer on and if it's underneath the coloring layer, and if you try to use a dropper tool to pick up the color you want back again, what will happen is usually it ends up being darker or lighter than the color you started off with. So then I ended up noticing that I had weird patches where the color did not look this exact same color. Like when I first discovered that I was having these weird patches, I was like, what's going on? And then I realized that if I just turned off the sketch layer, it would show the actual color and I wouldn't have that issue anymore. So I kind of wish I learned that earlier on. Then I had to go back in spots and make sure every spot looked like the same exact color and didn't look discolored and weird and look out of place. Here's another mistake, which isn't a mistake necessarily. To be honest, all of these aren't really mistakes. Really, I guess. I guess it depends on the person. Another thing that I can consider a mistake that I did is I didn't really have as much line weight in this drawing as I wanted to. Like, I wanted to have a lot more line art. I wanted to have a lot more line weight than I did. And I did actually change the brush size for the hair, for certain parts of the hair, and for the body and the skirt. And pretty much the only thing that looks like it has a different line weight is sort of the body compared to the ponytails, and also the skirt really sticks out. The skirt definitely looks like the line weight change, but everything else sort of meshes together and it honestly looks like the same lightweight pretty much. So another thing that I did in this drawing that makes it look kind of weird to me is, like I was saying, pretty much the whole drawing looks pretty flat, and I don't really like that. I don't really like how flat it looks. I feel like I do the same techniques with my traditional art, but somehow it just doesn't seem as flat as this drawing turned out. So I don't know. I really don't know what to do. I don't know. I just need to add digital art techniques within my traditional art, and hopefully my digital art will get better. I feel like the character is flat, but not that flat, but I feel like the background is just sort of like just extremely flat. And I probably should have added some trees or something, but I added some vines and thought that would do the trick. Vines didn't really do too much, which actually I have to say my favorite parts of the drawing is either the eyes and the ear, and also the little bow thingies on her, and also the pigtails and the vines. Those are like my favorite parts of the drawing. I think if I watch some digital art tutorials, and then if I try to add some of my digital art techniques within my traditional art, I think eventually I will start actually saying, ooh, my digital art actually looks pretty good. I don't know, I just feel like I go on a roller coaster when it comes to digital art, because sometimes I think my digital art looks pretty good, other times it's just like, I don't know what this is, and then other times I think it's just a complete abomination, and I don't know, my digital art just, it has a mind of its own, and it's just its own little old thing that's doing its own little old stuff, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, let's just move on, and I'm going to talk about my Huevember plans. I really don't have much Huevember plans, so I don't even know why I made this a section in my notes, but I put it there, so I guess I'm going to talk about it. Instead of just only making like 5 or like 4 drawings for this month, instead I'm going to try to make 7 drawings during this month, and I'm just going to go down the rainbow, because since I used purple for this video, I decided that the next color I'm going to be using is indigo, then the next color I'm going to be using is blue, then the next color I'm going to be using is green. I think that's what comes after blue. I'm saying the rainbow colors backwards, so I don't really know. I'm not the best at saying things backwards. So yeah, I'm just going to go backwards down the rainbow, and I'm just going to keep doing drawings until I get to yellow. Wait, no, until I get to red. Then when I'm at red, I'm going to just stop making Huevember drawings. Or I might make some if I really want to. Maybe I'll do a Huevember with the color black. So I think that's all I have to say for my Huevember plans. Do I have any other plans? oh yeah, I kind of want to do all of my Huevember drawings digitally, but I don't really know if I'm going to actually do that, and I don't know how that's going to work. So we'll see what I actually do. We'll see. Who knows? This might be the only digital art drawing I might do in the next 5 years. I'm sort of kidding about the 5 years. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what I'm up to doing. Hopefully I will try to practice on my digital art. And yeah, so that's all I have to say. That's all my plans for Huevember. And I think this video is hopefully at an end. Hopefully I talked long enough, because I've just been trying to just think of whatever I can say. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one.